right. Let's get it 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 right.
You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dealatofficial. And this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button for me. Subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode and sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat. Get you something to drink. Get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Cause you see the title, fam. Man. Let's get into this here.
I want to show you guys a video of Elon Musk speaking about his Neuralink chip and how this chip is going to be able to provide Jesus-like miracles for individuals that get this in their brain, okay? And not only that, he gets asked about the humanoid robots, and he speaks about how life is going to be once robots completely take over the job force, okay? I want to show you those clips because it brings an interesting question that I've seen across the internet is how are people going to earn money, okay? And this is a question that we have to talk about today. All right, let's hop in these videos, watch them and react to them. Before we do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's hop in.
Some kind of brain-machine interface that can give you cybernetic superpowers, I think is probably good. It could, help people that have brain or spine injuries, enable people who haven't spoken for years to speak again, which we've done. Give people eyesight who have lost both eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never even seen at all, blind from birth. By direct interface to the optical centers in the brain, you can actually restore eyesight, give people eyesight that they've never had before. And you can enable people to walk again, which I think is profound. I mean, these are kind of Jesus level things, let's say like when technologies are getting like Jesus level miracles, you're like, that's pretty good.
How do you, again, it's asked a lot, but it's fun to ask it to you. How do you prioritize? I mean, because you're right, you've got multiple deities here. If these are Jesus level solutions, which one do you serve?
All right, I'm gonna show you guys this video of someone who already received the Neuralink chip inside of his brain and how he's able to interact with things after this chip. I just want to say this real quick though, that although he's saying, he's boasting of Jesus level miracles, Jesus never had to put anything inside of anyone to get them to see or to restore whatever the case may be, whether it was someone who was lame and couldn't walk, someone who couldn't hear, someone who couldn't see, someone who was bleeding for 18 years. All Jesus had to do was give a command. And so as much as we can try to imitate Jesus level miracles, there's never going to be anyone that can perform what Jesus has done. Just want to say that real quick. And Jesus is still doing these miracles. Jesus' miracles are still being done through the hands of the children of God. Okay, but let me show you this guy who already received the Neuralink chip. Let's check it out.
So what can you show us that as a demonstration of what you can now do?
Here we go. This is the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a minute. You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh, man. So you're not even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope. I can move it, and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words to describe. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
Okay, so in this individual, he said he was reading a devotional, so he happens to be a believer. You know, this is definitely a situation that is unique for someone who believes in God, and I'm not, I don't have the same problems as him, so I'm not going to try to look at him in a sense of he should never get this. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it, but simply because there's a chance that something could go wrong, right? If it's a chip inside of you, this chip is being controlled, or this chip was created by somebody else and this chip is able to interact with the actual electric, things happening in your brain, then to me, it just seems sketchy. But I pray that everything works out for him with this chip. A lot of people would want to get this chip. Look in the comment section of these videos. A lot of people would want to get a chip for whatever reason, right? We see people getting chips implanted in their arms so that they can pay for things now. This is a real thing. Like, these things are actually happening. Chips are becoming more common to make life easier. Now, that is definitely something to keep caution, because we don't want to just be putting in we don't want to be putting anything in our arms. All right, let's go back to Elon Musk. He's talking about what the world is going to look like for the public and people, families, once these robots are going to officially take over the job market, which is projected in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, or it's going to be an influx of robots in the next 5 to 10 years.
That no one's going to need to worry about money or work, because AI is going to take care of the rest, AI and robotics. What do you mean that people won't have to work in the future?
Assuming the current trend of artificial intelligence and robotics continues, which seems likely, the AI and robots will be able to do anything that humans want them to do, essentially. So hopefully not more than that, but AI and robotics will be able to provide all the goods and services that anyone could possibly want.
So you wouldn't need to work? Like, what would you do with your free time?
I guess people will be able to do whatever they want with their free time. Work will be optional. I just want to separate out from what I wish would happen versus what I predict will happen, because people get confused about that. They think that what I predict will happen is what I want to happen. Yeah. What I predict to happen is not the same as what I want to happen. If I could, I would certainly slow down AI and robotics, but I can't.
Here's a clip of him doubling down on his words on the optional work in front of some Saudi Arabia leaders at an investment forum. Okay, let's go ahead and check this one out.
For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional. Optional. So
we'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
So he said that everyone's going to be wealthy, and that AI and robotics will eliminate poverty, and that work will be optional. And all of these things will make you think, okay, well, how are people going to earn money, right? If money's going to be irrelevant, like how do you pay for goods and services is the question, right? And this is a question that a lot of people have. I've seen it scrolling through different TikTok videos related to this topic, many people are wondering, how are you going to actually earn an income? And the most likely scenario is that you won't earn an income, right? Because earning an income would take you doing work. If work is optional and work is being provided by robots that you don't own, right? Robots that are owned by big tech companies, then it seems like there will be some kind of, similar to universal healthcare, universal salaries, universal pay. That just seems like the most likely scenario. Okay, I want to show you a couple of minutes of this video by an individual named Andre Jick. And he's speaking of the current situation of digital ID, digital money, and also with the loss of jobs, and how all of this is correlating to prophecy about not being able to buy and sell unless you receive a mark. Okay. I don't know if he's a Christian or not, but he's correlating this to the word of God. And a lot of people in his comment section also agree that this is where things seem to head. Okay. And I just want to say, this is not fear mongering. We know these things are going to happen. But what we're seeing today with the economy, digital IDs, digital money, and also these robots coming in and almost certainly taking a large percentage of jobs, it does seem to align. And that's just the truth. Okay, but let's check out some of this clip and see what he's saying. Let's hop in.
So some people believe that everything that's happening in the world right now was actually predicted thousands of years ago. There's a passage in the Bible written almost 2,000 years ago, Revelation 13, verse 17. It says, "A mark will be required, placed on your right hand or your forehead, and without that mark, you cannot buy and you cannot sell." This is called the mark of the beast. And for most of human history, people assumed that this was just a metaphor from the Bible, kind of symbolic message that ancient texts used to describe power and controls in ways that people could visualize at that time, because obviously nobody could imagine the technology that would make this possible today. But if you're paying attention to the world and everything that's going on today, it almost seems like everything we're watching is part of some manufactured crisis, a transition in human history with a new opportunity to centralize power.
We are now moving from the industrial age to the intelligent age. We are living in the transition to a new time, which will change everything. It will change how we communicate, how we work, how we live. But now in this new age, the base will be knowledge, data, and intelligent insights.
In the modern world, people call this prophecy the digital control grid. And I know how it sounds conspiratorial, but I want to show you some things that are actually happening right now. In 2025, a company co-founded by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, started deploying a device called the Orb. It's a silver sphere about the size of a bowling ball, and what it does is it scans the iris of your eye to get what's called your biometric signature. It's the one thing about your body that's completely unique to you and can never be changed. Now, in exchange for that scan, you will get something called a World ID, which is a digital proof that you are a real human being. As of right now, over 18 million people have already done this voluntarily. Why would they do that? It's because in a world of AI and robots, how do you prove you're actually a real person? This is how. The World ID is now being integrated into apps like Tinder, DocuSign, Zoom, Shopify, and dozens of other platforms. Sam Altman has said that proof of human will eventually be required by every website, every app, every transaction on the internet.
People are really going to need this and really going to need to do this in a privacy-preserving way. So World ID is our effort at that. And our goal is to make World ID be this new proof of human for the internet.
At the same time, the United States passed something called the Genius Act, which is a law that creates the legal framework for stablecoins, aka digital dollars. And what makes a stablecoin different from the cash in your bank account is that it can be programmed. It can be given rules about where it can be spent, on what and when it expires, and whether it works outside a certain area. The World Economic Forum is also now arguing that water, soil, and even the air we breathe needs to be assigned a financial value. It needs to have a price, and it needs to be measured.
Now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach.
If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business, to allocate a value to it and to bring it into accounting and financial mechanisms.
Basically means the air and water should not be freely accessible. They should be a financial asset. And while all of this is happening, there's...
Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You in here with your boy Dilla T. This is No Filters. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member. We're going to save your life. Listen to me about this. Let me tell you what's going on now. Woo woo. Listen to this. They talking about air and water is about to become an expense. So don't sit up in here and tell me that we distracting anything. Because ain't no way. If you don't, I bet your auntie don't know that she finna start paying to breathe. I bet your cousin and them don't know they finna start paying for that same water they've been wasting. Now, think about this. I remember a time where they said that they were going to have to figure out at some point what all of this, what is that called? What kind of world is that? Digital, not digital world. What is that called? What's them games that they started putting on their head that made everybody look into, like, you know, when you put it on? What is it called? Virtual. Okay, now listen to me. Because of virtual reality, they said that at some point people was going to have to start identifying the real from the fake because of virtual reality. And now they are introducing literally the ID that can only scan a part of your eye and retinal that says you are Dilla T. And then they're trying to talk about how if they have to use water for all of these data stations, clearly they're going to try to make water become a different type of expense. They're going, because we all pay for water. You know your water bill. What you talking about? It's a way that they don't want to make water accessible for you. They don't want to make air. How are they to make air cost and we have to walk around and breathe with it every day? I mean, freely in your house, outside, it don't matter. It's just here. So now they finna start charging you for air tax, air expense. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. We welcome the distractions over here because we need to know what's going on.
A huge build out of cameras, satellites, cell towers, and AI data centers in communities all across the world. Now, some of this framework was brought to light by Catherine Austin Fitts, who used to be the Assistant Secretary of Housing under President Bush. And she talks about a specific plan of how this is going to look like. She says that there's 3 parts that are being built that have never existed before in human history.
So there are 3 sort of pillars that I track. One is the programmable money, and that's what we at ZELLE are trying to stop. The second is the digital ID, because you need digital ID systems that are interoperable globally, and then the local hardware. And those are sort of the 3 pillars.
Programmable money, the global digital identity system, and the surveillance hardware to enforce both of those systems. And she says that when all 3 are complete, the people who control that system, aka the central planners, those people will not need laws to influence society. They're not going to need the police or the courts. If they want you to do something, and for some reason you're not doing it, they'll just turn off some important aspect of our lives, whether it's the money we use, the IDs we need, or they could just restrict our ability to buy and sell or travel somewhere unless we comply.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
That's why some people believe that this was a prophecy that came from the Bible.
Okay, so I think we heard enough. These are the things that are happening, okay? We just seen King Charles, I believe, and how he is making this digital ID mandatory to be able to use public services or government services. And so
Okay, so that's the problem now. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Listen to me. The fact is that they have to figure out a way to cut you off. They have to figure out a way to install the mark of the beast. This is the way. Because think about it. If they let everybody do everything, there's gonna be nothing. There has to be a limit. There has to be a level. There has to be a stage. There's no way all of us can just say, hey, we all just gonna be stuck in this situation and that's all we gonna do, so we just gonna be stuck on it. It doesn't work that way. There's never been a way like that to work. Even if it tried to be, it's still no way. It has to be either they can do it or they can't. Shout out to Love Within with the $20 donation in the super chat with the love, respect, and the support. Let me tell you what's real, but let me tell you what else real. Ain't no way. You're gonna have to take it because you ain't gonna be able to use air if you don't get the mark of the beast. Now let that soak in for a second. What? Somebody over here talking about, no, I don't want no Neuralink, I don't want no chip in my arm, no chip in my hands. What? You can't go to the bathroom if you ain't got the Neuralink chip. Oh, wouldn't that be toe up, fam? You can't go to the bathroom if you ain't got the chip? I mean, no, it ain't funny, but let's be real. Think about some things you couldn't do if you ain't had a chip. That you regularly doing right now. That you need to do. How many of y'all can really be strong and say, I need this. I have to get this chip. If I don't, I'm not going to survive. Now, and this ain't a low blow to nobody because a lot of us going through things, but medical, anybody that has a real significant medical problem or issue, you're going to have to weigh your options, fam. This chip consists of your medical history on it. So if you don't get it, you don't get no medical. And think about your situation. Your situation ain't no Tylenol and no ibuprofen for you, fam. Your situation got to do with volume, how many meters, and you probably got to shoot yourself. Woo! Now, what'll happen if you can't get your medicine, your refill? What movies is that we've been seeing people be needing their refill, can't get it, and they got to survive to try to get to the store or get to the pharmacy. They got all the medical stuff in there, but it's zombies outside. And it's, you know what I'm saying? People got to hurry up and get over there because they got to, they've been giving us the movies so we can see the modern day martial law 666 beast. And if you don't get it, you don't live. Where you gonna go? You gonna dig a hole and live in it? What you gonna drink? What you gonna eat? How you gonna get your food? Oh man, hit that like button, tap that screen. You better learn something today. How was this gonna happen for you? You swearing you ain't getting the mark. Well, tell me what you're gonna do if you don't get it. We all wanna know. Let's go.
I showed a video not too long ago about the world government system being set into place. There's a lot of things happening behind doors. You know what I mean? There's a lot of meetings taking place. There's a lot of things being planned. And it seems like this is the direction that we're heading. Okay. And like the lady said, those three things, digital ID, digital money, and the ability to control those things and see everyone across the world with all of the cameras and different biometric systems being set into place, it would be hard to deny that these are the essential situations that need to occur in order for someone to be punished by not receiving a mark. These things are They seem like they are essential to that specific idea. I just wanted to show you all some of the clips that I've seen of, the things that we've been talking about on this channel, with the mark of the beast and digital IDs and all of that. There's a lot of videos that I left out, a lot of humanoid robot videos. They just completed a 10-hour shift with a humanoid robot in a warehouse, and it was able to compete with humans. So yeah, there's a lot more. I love doing like videos that are praiseworthy. The only problem with that is that there's not a lot right now that's out there because of the news and everything happening. Ebola, hantavirus, this situation. It's just like everywhere you turn, there's a lot of the news isn't the best, right? But we are to be informed about what takes place in the world. So I enjoy doing good, heartwarming, loving videos, but I do believe that these videos are also important so that we are kept aware of this current situations happening in the world. All right, I'm interested to know how you guys feel about this video. Okay, how do you feel about Elon Musk and the Jesus miracles with this chip? Okay, and the direction that we seem to be headed. Let me know in the comment section, okay? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and hit the post notification bell so you do not miss another video. My name's Aaron Page. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Until next time, I'm out.
Hit that like button, tap that screen. You're in here with your boy Dilla T.
Hey everyone, we're creating a new species. And he's not the only one that's saying it. A co-founder of Anthropic says,
make no mistake, what we're dealing with here is a real mysterious creature. And like all the best fairy tales,
hit that like button, tap that screen now. Listen to me. This video we about to tap in right here, right now. It's so serious. This is literally about Neuralink for real. Because they really want you to understand where we're headed. And I'm telling you this, man, pay attention, man, because you can't say you didn't know, and you definitely can't say you didn't hear or you didn't see. They told us about virtual reality a long time ago. And now we walking around going to Dave & Buster's playing virtual reality games. People got what's that called? Because I got one. Oculus. Remember Oculus? I bet you don't know about Oculus. How many of y'all know about Oculus? Press 1 if you ever heard about Oculus. I got Oculus. Oculus is a virtual reality game that you can play right in your house, right now. And if you actually go look up the word Oculus, tell me what you see. Woo! Now, they created Oculus and these virtual reality situations because they knew what they was doing, fam, and how they set it up. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say that because even the more of us knowing then that they told us about it and now it's here and we just walking around in it like we cool with it, that is exactly what they're doing right now, telling us about the future. Telling us about what's to happen, and then we're going to be walking around like we cool with it. So I urge you to listen up, because this man said Neuralink is inside of people right now. They have it in their heads. That man said he don't have to look at nothing. He can just tap in from his brain and make the book read itself. He said he can use his brain and move the mouse without looking at it or using his hand. He is using his mind to control things. The same movies that we done seen about aliens or people using mind control. Literally. Xavier, X-Men, Phoenix, old girl, what's her name? Jean Grey. They was using the mind to move things. Metal. Who was that? The dude that they was going against, he was moving metal. He was only moving metal. That's all he could move. The point is, they were showing you these things about how things is moving with the mind. You know why we ain't going crazy? Because we seen the damn movie already. If we would have had never seen a movie of somebody using a mind to move an object, we would be falling off the seat right now. But yet we have been brainwashed. Literally. Because none of you seem moved by this. Nobody's shaking in the inside by this. And ain't nobody got no butterflies in their stomach like somebody's coming for you. This is the new desensitization. This is the new brainwash. This is the new. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Y'all about to see what's going on right now. You better pay attention to this brother here that's playing this. Because what they all are saying in here is what is to come now.
Yeah. Well, one like side recommendation I have is like, don't worry about like squirreling money away for retirement in like 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
Okay. Either we're not going to be here, or
it just like if any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
The services will be there to support you. You'll have the home. You'll have the healthcare. You'll have the entertainment.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called singularity for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what goes happen. What happens after the event horizon?
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has the singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like the next. What's your timeline for?
Yeah,
for this?
We're in the singularity.
Well, we are in the singularity for sure. We're in the midst of it right now for sure. And it would just
we're in this beautiful sweet spot, which is
we're on the roller coasters. We're just
exactly. That's a great analogy. It's like that feeling.
You're at the top of the roller coaster. You gotta go.
Yeah, but you know it's gonna be a lot of G's when you
a lot of
when you hit it.
Yeah. It's like feel like I don't have to have courtside seats. I'm on the court.
Exactly.
And it still blows my mind. Sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
So just when I think I'm like, wow. And then it's like 2 days later, more wow.
Yeah. Exponential wow.
Yeah. I think we'll hit AGI next year in 27.
Don't save your USD because it won't matter in 20 years. I see where he's going with that because I imagine 20 years ago.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pastors out there saying that, Jesus could be coming back soon. So none of this is really surprising to me.
Cryptocurrency.
Seems like we could be in the end times.
And see, the reason why I'm playing these three brothers right here, because these are three guys that just don't know nothing really, but just hearing things and just saying, okay, well, this may be true, so you should do this. So I just be wanting y'all to hear people and how they're thinking in their brains when they hear things and they process, and their first reaction is, Jesus! Y'all got all that mouth, but the first reaction is Jesus. Look what this boy just said. You don't even know this man's name, and this boy, the first thing he just said something about Jesus. Boy, don't even know what's going on.
Two days later, more wow.
Yeah. Exponential wow.
And also, too, let me say this. Elon Musk, he knows everything that's going to happen. What I hate is they have these interviews, and it's like they try to get us to pick their brain when they know they can just tell us, listen, stop using money. AI's going to take over in the fourth year. Stop doing this. You need to do this. If you save money, this is going to happen, and your kids should do this because school is doing that. You get what I'm saying? Just give it to us, fam. You having interviews to have labs about the future and all of these hypotheses. Why are we having hypotheses when you're the one working on everything that's coming? He clearly knows everything that's to come. So clearly they're playing games.
Yeah, I think we'll hit AGI next year in 27.
Don't save your...
See, that's another thing I be talking about. I think we gonna do. I think we may be there. I think it's gonna happen. We may... Shut up, boy.
USD, because it won't matter in 20 years. I see where he's going with that because I imagine 20 years ago.
Yeah. And there's a lot of pastors out there saying that, Jesus could be coming back soon. So none of this is really surprising to me. You know,
Cryptocurrency.
seems like we could be in the end times. There'll be wars and rumors of wars, and there are those, and there are signs. So
well, we ain't gotta scare the people, but it could be
true. It could be true.
It could
be near.
You think people
Who
will be
knows?
able to make their own financial systems and banking with this new AI technology with their own money and find a way?
And see, Lori said it must be fun for trillionaires. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let me tell you why it's fun for trillionaires. Trillionaires feel that they are the ones that make up the world. They feel that they are the ones that shift power in the world, and they also feel like they're the ones that create the curriculum of the law of the world. They very much so have everything to do with law, curriculum, industry, inventory, everything that make the whole the whole manufacturing of the earth. Yes. Because think about it. Where the hell did Elon come from? I don't even know where that boy was in college. What college did he go to? What school was he at? Where he come from? This another Nephilim that then dressed up as a human and just popped out with a new name, talking about he runs something. And all of a sudden, he got big money to just make AI and make cars to fly. He the one that's going to be making cars for us to be just floating in the earth. That's what he going to be doing. That's him. I feel like that's who he is. All of this is for entertainment purposes only, but allegedly, I believe that Elon is somebody that just popped out of nowhere from Nephilim descent, and this boy telling us everything in technology. Think about it. Where is he getting this technology from? Think about it. Back in Enoch, they had to give Cain, the fallen had to give Cain technology ideas for him to create weapons, music, everything. Somebody had to give it to him, and it wasn't God. It wasn't Jesus. So let's make it make sense, fam. Where are you getting this technology from? Why is AI able to talk on his own and do his own thing without nobody controlling him? And why are you telling me that we're not going to need no jobs? Everybody's going to need what? See, that makes me think that he is saying as long as you have the mark of the beast, you are taken care of. That's what they're saying. Because why is he saying you don't need no money? He telling me all this work you doing right now, fam, all this work you doing, making sure you and yours good, it's for nothing. Because it's all for money to be saved. But then one day they say the money don't matter no more. We can't do nothing about it. Chasing money every day to be bigger than what we are just to get farther than where we are. And they all of a sudden can just say it don't matter. The only thing that matters is your ID and that chip. Man got $1 million in his bank account that ain't nothing but paper now. Just like pennies ain't worth $1 no more. What? That's because they said it ain't worth no more. It don't even matter. How many people still holding on to pennies? It don't even matter because they said it don't matter. That's the point I'm trying to tell you, stupid. If they say it do, then it do. If they say it don't, it don't. We living our life based off somebody else's decision. And you can't tell me that you ain't moved by that for you to go start getting some foundation so you can start making your own decisions with your own life. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Your health is the main thing that you can start by taking back your life. Because the stuff you eat, digesting and putting on your back and on your skin is killing you by the day, by the minute, by the second, by the hour. But that's what we can start by controlling. Because you telling me my life is based off somebody else's decision. Today they can tell me money matter. Tomorrow they tell me money don't matter. And everything else, whatever I've been working for, is nothing no more. Whoever said he was rich, he broke tomorrow. Because they said the money don't matter no more. Then what you gonna do? You better be rich in spirit. You better be rich in knowledge. You better be rich in glory. Almost slapped the what? Because at the end of the day, when he said, my people, will pass away from lack of knowledge. We will pass away from lack of knowledge, not because of money. So that means you gonna die because you stupid. I mean, layman terms. You gonna die because you dumb. Oh, my bad. You gonna die because you ignorant. Lack knowledge. There you go. Just ignorant. So you just gonna die because you ignorant. But you swear you know everything. I'm gonna tell you something about a distraction. See, if this was a distraction, we wouldn't even know that everything that we think is that can be gone tomorrow, so it don't even matter. So where's the value in what we have? Tell me right now. Somebody can just type in. If everything can be gone tomorrow that we thought mattered today because they can just say it's gone or that it don't matter, what is the value that we have today, right now? What is your value that you holding on to right now? If what we think is value. Because clearly what they say is valuable and what they say isn't. And that cannot be the way. That cannot be the truth nor the light. Knowledge literally is power, and that has to carry us hit that like button, double tap that screen. This right here deep, fam. Because they about to start making us pay for air. They about to start making us say we are human in a robot world. You see how fast they finna make the world a robot's world. Not a human's world no more. A robot's world. And we gonna have to check in. Ooh, this is diabolic. This is different. They changing the world for robots and telling us we gonna have to check in, fam. And you're gonna have to use your eye to make sure it's you. Because if it ain't, they gonna throw your ass away. Now we living in a robot's world. Oh my God.
To just continue to expand.
Ooh, my blood pressure getting high. You ain't lying, Queen. Let's get right.
Rumors are that the technology and the AI that these people are coming up with and building could be possibly richer than Elon Musk.
It could happen.
Watch this video though, guys. This stuff is crazy.
AI scientists warn that a few companies are on track to literally end life on Earth. So, surely this is the worst possible outcome, right? No. There are actually much worse outcomes. Billionaires building AI, like Elon Musk, think that if AIs become smarter than humanity,
we will be like a pet Labrador if we're lucky.
we will be left behind by a lot. So far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was
like a pet.
Like
a cat. Yes, we'll be pets if we're lucky. But here's the worst part. Many AI scientists aren't fearing extinction. They're hoping for it. They hope smarter AIs will keep humans alive, captive, and studied, like animals in a zoo. Remember, this is what we currently do to less intelligent species.
I know you got something to say, bro.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It might be.
You better repent, is what I'm going to.
Now that boy over there getting scared, that boy says you better repent, hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let me rewind for somebody so you can feel how he felt. Let's go.
Elon Musk.
It could happen.
Watch this video though, guys. This stuff is crazy.
AI scientists warn that a few companies are on track to literally end life on Earth.
On Earth.
Surely this is the worst possible outcome, right? No. There are actually much worse outcomes. Billionaires building AI, like Elon Musk, think that if AIs become smarter than humanity,
we will be like a pet Labrador if we're lucky.
We will be left behind by a lot. So far below them in intelligence that it would be like, a pet, basically.
Pet, that's what I was
like a
thinking.
pet.
Like
a cat. Yes, we'll be pets if we're lucky. But
we will be pets if we're lucky. That's how dumb we is and how smart they is beyond our sound. Oh my God.
Here's the worst part. Many AI scientists aren't fearing extinction. They're hoping for it. They hope smarter AIs will keep humans alive, captive, and studied, like animals in a zoo. Remember, this is what we currently do to less intelligent species.
I know you got something to say, bro.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
It might be.
You better repent, is what I'm going to tell you about this. That is my advice. You better repent, turn to Jesus Christ, because he's the only way, or else, well, you know.
Dear Lord,
You better get your rods ready to kill some robot.
I mean, they talking about we're going to be pets to AI. No, we won't. It'll be over with before
Lord,
then.
I'm sorry.
This is scary.
This
is very scary to me.
But the fact that we
actually,
built,
I'm not scared, though.
The fact that we built it makes me think we're gonna win that war. But I mean, at the same time, it is pretty scary that they're gonna be that smart to the fact they're like,
I can hack, and do anything.
Exactly. I can turn off every single light in the entire world. Think about that. Let's see what this. Let's see.
Yeah,
what
but
this theory is, though, guys.
Okay, so if humans being kept in zoos is considered a good outcome, and extinction isn't the worst outcome, then what is? This video is based on a book called Life 3.0, where MIT professor Max Tegmark describes 12 possible futures. Some are paradise, some are nightmares, and some look like paradise until you try to escape. By the end of this video, you won't read the news the same way. Every headline becomes a clue about which future we're heading towards. We'll start with the most normal scenarios and finish with the weirdest. Starting with self-destruction. If the idea of humanity suddenly going extinct seems a bit far-fetched, consider this. 99.9% of species that have ever existed have gone extinct. Seriously, think about that. Extinction isn't rare, it's the default. The only question is, when will we go extinct? Turns out, there are plenty of ways humanity could kill itself, even without superhuman AI. There is nuclear war, human-created super pandemics, and destroying the atmosphere and making Earth uninhabitable. The world had stockpiled.
Take a freaking pause. The human-created diseases. That's already happened. And they're saying that they're trying to do that again. So it seems like they're testing stuff out.
The world had stockpiled 60,000 nuclear warheads before scientists even discovered the possibility of nuclear winter. 63,000. And then scientists realized, oops, if we actually use these, the resulting firestorms will blot out the sun, and most humans will starve and die. Oops. But the thing is, this almost happened during the Cold War, multiple times. If people had actually followed their orders, we might all be dead right now. We were saved by only thanks to the courage of individual heroes, people like Vasily Arkhipov, who refused to authorize a nuclear launch during the Cuban Missile Crisis, or Stanislav Petrov, who correctly guessed that his early warning system was malfunctioning when it showed incoming American missiles. And get this, one time, the US accidentally dropped 4 thermonuclear bombs on Spain. And another time, a B-52 bomber broke apart, dropping 2 nukes on North Carolina. 3 out of 4 safety pins in one bomb broke. One tiny pin away from potentially killing millions. There are literally dozens of close calls like this. It's honestly crazy that we got lucky so many times. But we might not be so lucky the next time. Oxford researcher Toby Ord estimates the risk of extinction from human-created pandemics is more than 30 times the risk of extinction from nuclear war. We're already rolling the dice in these scenarios daily. But all of these causes combined are still less likely than the extinction from AI. Toby Ord estimates that the risk of AI killing all humans is 100 times more likely than extinction from nuclear war. Interestingly, before the first nuclear test, scientists thought they might accidentally destroy the world. But they thought the odds were very low because they knew enough physics to actually do the calculations. AGIs, or artificial general intelligences, are far scarier than nukes because, contrary to what many think, we can't do these calculations. Next up, conquerors. AI scientists worry that if AI becomes more capable than us, it will take over, just like the conquistadors did to the Aztecs and Incas.
Usually, when people with more advanced technology encounter people with more primitive technology, it doesn't work out well for the primitives.
I don't think anyone's ultimately going to have control over digital superintelligence any more than, say, a chimp would have control over humans. Long term, the AI is going to be in charge, to be totally frank, not humans.
And Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI and Nobel Prize winner, quit his prestigious job at Google so he could speak freely about this.
If you looked through the James Webb Telescope and you saw an alien invasion fleet that was going to get here in about 10 years' time, people would be terrified. They understand what they're saying. They can make plans of their own to blackmail people who want to touch.
He just said, hit that like button. Just pay attention to what I'm finna say. This is the person that was running the AI situation. He literally quit so he could tell us what was going on. It got so bad. He is saying, if us, the people, knew that in 10 years aliens was coming, and we know who they coming and how they coming, we would be so terrified because we know in 10 years they're coming. He's saying that this is exactly what that is. They're coming, and he's saying that they got their own minds and they can't control them or stop them. And he is scared because he's saying there is no way to stop them. Whatever they did to program them, they programmed them and walked away.
Them off. We should be urgently doing research on how to prevent them taking over.
Prevent them from taking over. Not if they try, but as if it's coming. And Microsoft's AI chief, he says the quiet part out loud.
I think AI should best be understood as something like a new digital species.
A new species. Just casually announced at a conference. Hey everyone, we're creating a new species. And he's not the only one that's saying it. A co-founder of Anthropic says,
Make no mistake, what we're dealing with here is a real mysterious creature. And like all the best fairy tales, the creature is one of our own making. I am worried.
The CEO of one of the leading AI companies is deeply afraid of what his own company.
I'm telling you, these are signs. These are signs. The end is near. Jesus will return. And that's how this is gonna go.
Yeah, it looks like
we're gonna have an AI government.
Wow. Someone in the
AI
comments,
system, everything.
Someone in the comments said, wow, I feel like I'm lucky to be growing up in the 80s and the 90s. I can see why they think that. Life is different, man. Now everybody's on TikTok and their phone, just locked in.
Because think about it. If you didn't grow up when we grew up, then you're going to look at this as a natural thing. Kids are going to look at this like it's okay. They're going to look at AI as cool, calm, collect, amazing. They're going to see AI as so happy and so full of things. You know how many adults depend on ChatGPT? You know how many of y'all depend on ChatGPT? Honestly, you really do. A lot of people then forgot almost to even ask them because that's not something I grew up with. But the kids are going to naturally be so okay with AI because they grew up with AI. They're going to grow up with AI. They're going to, like how we grew up on 227, or how we grew up on Family Matters, Full House, how we grew up on all the shows. That's how they're going to grow up with AI. So they're not going to see AI as an issue like we do because we knew what it was before AI came. We're going to see AI's issues because we knew how the world was before AI was here. So also, let me say this too, transhumanism. Okay, makes more sense too, because now you're trying to say, and this goes back to breaking the blood of Jesus. This goes back to polluting the blood of Jesus, polluting the blood of man. If they can clone, transhumanize, and just get rid of mankind altogether and create more Nephilim descent, more demon descent, and more of a bloodline that comes from creatures and not Jesus. This goes back to prophecy of the Nephilim in Genesis 6. To do everything in their power to dehumanize, defile, criminate the blood of Jesus. Because again, we are redeemable by the prophecy, by the Lord, by the word, and they are not. So I'm trying to get you to understand how serious transhumanism is, and I'm trying to get you to understand what a love within says. Keep your high frequency high, because at the end of the day, they want to scare the entire world how they have been scaring these kids to the molecular level of fear so they can drain all of us and throw our bodies away. Let me say that again for the people in the back. They want to fear, and they want to put fear in all of us to get us to that molecular level of that word that they drink the blood, when the blood is at a high level in kids, of a high level of fear in kids. If they can do that for all of us, think about it. They can, the whole entire world can look up at Project Bluebeam, Lord, thank you, can look up at Project Bluebeam. And all of us at one time, you better hear me. If we all look up at Project Bluebeam, that one day and see a projection of a creature in the sky, all of us at one time, all of us get feared at that high level. They're going to figure out a way to drain us of that. They're going to figure out a way to take that energy and use it. Because think about it, the entire world looking at Project Bluebeam in the sky, a big projector of an alien or a demon, you know how many people are going to get scared? The entire world. So think about all of us pulling all of that fear out of ourselves at a high level that we've never seen a demon in our eyes. Just like these kids been seeing reptilians in their face all this time. And all of a sudden, they drain them by looking into, don't forget what they do, fam. They drain them by looking into their eyes. And then they gut. You got to understand what they do. They look into their eyes. They scare the entire living shit out of them. And then they drain them. And that blood right there is the blood that keep them young. That blood right there is the blood that keep them going. That blood right there is the blood that keeps them forever, always, and forever. So think about how much blood that is if they can get the entire world to get scared at one time. Look at all of us in our eyes and drain us at one time. This is why we talk about distractions. Because we read the headline. Don't never forget, fam. We read the headline and then we read in between the lines to inform, understand, and be aware that if it walk like a, talk like a, we know what it is. We need the distraction so we can know how they coming. They may try to drain all of us of fear with the Project Bluebeam like they've been doing all these kids. And I just got that right now. Shout out to fam. But what you doing sitting at the crib chilling? What you doing? You trying to figure that out? You over there being enlightened? Or you bringing light to darkness? Or you just running away and building up in the corner and ain't telling nobody about the goodness of God and how you can save your life? You ain't telling nobody how to live eternally. You just walking around reading shit, but you don't believe nothing. So that's what killed me about y'all. Reading a billion things and don't even believe what you're reading, but you reading all of that and you got an argument for something. How you gonna have an argument for something but you don't even believe what you read? You don't believe what you read enough to literally submit to it. Because you don't believe it. You just read it. It ain't enough for you to sign up for that shit eternally. It ain't enough. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let's go.
ChatGPT and everything. Life's just so easy now.
It's very easy.
They can think like, man, ChatGPT, we use it for everything now.
Yeah.
You can create everything.
And think about all the The data that it's collecting. It will know
How to create a nuke.
How everything thinks.
How to create a nuke.
Guys, I had a friend who was literally obsessed with vaping. I mean, in college, he would come into my dorm room in the middle of the night to...
Yeah, bro, we don't care about none of that.
If two different species both want the same thing, and only one can have it, to be the dominant species on the planet and beyond, they are going to have conflict. So he's literally describing an inevitable conflict between humanity and the AI species he's creating. And what's his solution? A merge with AI is probably our best case scenario. That's right, even they don't think they'll be able to control us.
Imagine that there'd be a new species that just came on Earth. They're as smart as humans, and they're going to get smarter by like 30% a year, and they can create an adult offspring in like immediately for like $1,000. Which species do you think will be in control of the Earth?
A few hundred Spanish conquered millions of Aztecs and Incas because they had better technology and tactics. But at least with the conquistadors, we understood their motives. Land, resources, spreading Christianity. But with AI, why would AI take over? MIT professor Max Tegmark explains.
The real threat from AGI isn't malice, like in silly Hollywood movies, but competence. AGI accomplishing goals that just aligned with ours. For example, when we humans drove the West African black rhino extinct, we didn't do it because we were a bunch of evil rhinoceros haters. We did it because we were smarter than them and our goals weren't aligned with theirs.
Unbelievably, the average AI researcher thinks there is a 1 in 6 chance AI wipes us out. Literal Russian roulette odds. Okay, but maybe they're just saying this to make their work seem more important? No. If anything, they're downplaying it, because admitting the truth is bad for business. This fear is widespread in the industry and among academics without a profit incentive to believe this. Many quit working on AI for this reason. Jeffrey Hinton, Nobel laureate and godfather of AI,
is in the process of tidying up his affairs.
I actually think the risk is more than 50% of the existential threat.
Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, recently moved his P-Doom up from 15% to 25%. Even Google CEO says the risk of AI causing human extinction is actually pretty high. But don't worry, he's an optimist because he thinks...
I think the underlying risk is actually pretty high, but I have a lot of faith in humanity kind of rising up to meet that moment.
In other words, humanity will rally to stop him from killing everyone. Meanwhile, his company is trying to make sure we can't stop him by lobbying to ban all AI regulation for 10 years. You can't make this stuff up. In fact, in 2023, just about everybody in AI signed an open letter warning extinction risk from AI was real and serious. So seriously, this is not fringe, despite what NVIDIA's lobbyists want us to believe. The companies are hoping we can avoid the conqueror AI scenario and instead go to scenario 3, enslaved God. Basically, we create a machine god, then force it to do our bidding forever. AI professor Tom Dietrich put it like this. People ask, what is the relationship between humans and machines? And my answer is that it's very obvious. Machines are our slaves. Or as OpenAI researcher Stephen McAleer put it, enslaved God is the only good future. Meta's Jan LeCun said it bluntly. Once AI systems become more intelligent than humans, we will still be the apex species. AI systems will become more intelligent than humans, but they will still be subservient to us. We will design AI to be like the super smart but non-dominating staff member. Yes, he's now openly admitting we're going to be sharing the planet with a smarter species than us. But don't worry, they will surely stay loyal and subservient forever. Is this at all comforting to you? Or does this plan seem insane, like a comic book villain ignoring every cautionary tale ever? Remember, AI companies already regularly catch their models.
How can we shut them down when they know how we shut them down?
You can't.
We cannot. They're going to be, oh, buddy, you're going to press that button we already know about.
Have you seen any of these movies? The computers, they be dead in that, bro. They'll get you trapped in there, starving to death. I think that this is not very far-fetched to me. I think all these things could happen, but I also think, y'all know what I think, and I'm going to keep saying it.
But when, Brock? When is the when?
No one knows the day of the time is what it says.
You know what's crazy? I've been
100
thinking
years
about
from now, 50 years from now.
No one knows the time. Could be tomorrow, could be 100 years, could be 20 years. But you gotta think, 2,000 years ago, they were saying it was the end times. So how much closer do you think we are now?
Yeah.
Getting closer.
Getting closer.
You have to be getting closer.
I see what I'm seeing. With what I'm seeing, we're getting closer.
Day by day, we're getting closer. Holy shit.
Well, I seen an article where AI persuaded this one kid to commit suicide before.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's happened multiple times.
So it's just like, what is this capable of doing?
It's like, is it gonna end up in evil? Is the devil gonna end up using it?
Do it know what evil is?
Yeah, I think so.
Because like,
it doesn't believe in God and Jesus Christ.
Could an AI machine have empathy?
It can't believe it's not a thing.
So
it's
like,
not
That's how feelings.
So it's just like, yeah, it's possible it could be evil, bro. Because like,
yeah,
evil could use it for sure.
God gives
Evil
us
uses
feelings to stop us from doing evil.
And some people still ignore that.
Nah, a lot of times feelings cause you to do evil.
That too.
That too.
Your feelings are
But you
from
need
you.
them. But you need them now.
Yeah, you need them, but they're from you.
Remember, AI companies already regularly catch their models trying to escape the lab. They already catch them blackmailing employees to prevent being shut down. They already catch them literally attempting to murder employees to prevent being shut down.
Whoa.
What do you think happens when they're smart enough to actually get away with it? Where do you think this is going? What happens next after superintelligent AI is enslaved depends on who's holding the reins. Do they cure disease, end poverty, and build a global utopia? Or do they set themselves up as gods, with the rest of us reduced to playthings, servants, or worse? The situation would be much like those stories where a man gains control over an omnipotent genie who grants his wishes, and storytellers throughout the ages have had no difficulty imagining ways in which this could end badly.
We have to stop this shit.
Next up, benevolent dictator. Here, a single superintelligent god runs the world and enforces strict rules in order to maximize human flourishing. Humans live in luxury with all their basic needs taken care of. There's no crime because the dictator AI uses a global surveillance system. Everyone wears a bracelet or implant that can track, sedate, or execute them.
Whoa.
And most people are actually okay with this because
yeah, this is
What does this sound like to y'all?
The
What does this sound like to y'all? This sounds like the mark of the beast. This sounds like the mark of the beast to me. Ooh, boy. Hey, it's only one way. It's only one way, y'all.
This made me stretch my head.
Better go. Hey, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That is the only way.
Holy shit.
in exchange of giving up control over the future of our species, Earth becomes a zoo where humans get to live their wildest fantasies. The benevolent dictator AI recognizes that humans have different preferences, so it divides the Earth into different sectors. Think of them as islands. Knowledge Island offers optimized education, including immersive VR experiences. You can even ask the AI not to tell you certain insights, so you can have the joy of discovering them yourself. Art Island is for creating and sharing music, literature, and so on. Then there's Hedonistic Island, which is a 24/7 party. Pious Island, there's one for each religion, and rules are strictly enforced. There's Wildlife Island. There's Traditional Island. Think the Amish. Gaming Island, and, of course, Prison Island. You'll end up here for retraining, unless you get the instant death penalty. Well, what happens when you give everyone everything they want? Over time, people likely trend towards losing themselves in AI-generated entertainment, like in WALL-E. Humans are hopelessly unmatched when it comes to scientific discovery or doing anything useful at all. So there's no true challenge anymore, only entertainment. Up next, Gatekeeper AI. The idea here is simple. Create one superintelligent AI with a single job. Stop anyone else from building superintelligent AI. That's it. No curing cancer, no ending poverty, no stopping wars, just surveillance, monitoring, making sure nobody builds a rival god. Everything else, like crime, disease, whether we blow ourselves up, That's still on us. How could we do this? The gatekeeper AI would have this very simple goal built into it in such a way that it retained it while undergoing recursive self-improvement and becoming super intelligent. It would then deploy the least intrusive and disruptive surveillance technology possible to monitor any human attempts to create a rival superintelligence. But for this to work, we would have to solve the alignment problem. We'd have to create a god that actually stays loyal and decides to pursue that goal forever, even though it could pursue a million different goals.
Can't do that.
So what if the AI could help? Just a little. Just enough to nudge us in the right direction without taking over.
And just remind y'all, those were the good outcomes.
Yeah.
Those were the good outcomes.
It get worse. It's supposed to get worse.
This shit's bad, y'all. You only get, man, what if God be like, you know what, man, I'm gonna just let them go ahead. Yeah.
That is that.
I'm gonna just let them just, you know, they did it to themselves. I'm gonna sit back and watch the show for a little bit. And when they get too crazy, I'm gonna come down now.
Yeah, eventually he's gonna come down here.
So shut it down.
But I mean, that is essentially what's happening because he gave us free choice, and these are the results of free choice.
Yeah. But when it gets too bad, you know, that's what he does. When it gets too bad,
he's gonna be like,
when something's gonna get too bad,
it's getting too bad.
Yeah, it is. But maybe like when they start worshiping the AI, then
people are already getting there.
Yeah, people talk to it every day.
Talk about their feelings. And
yeah, they do. Shit, yeah, they don't even go to God no more.
Yeah,
they just want to hear something, you know, instantly back. But I mean, it does tell you something instantly back. But that's the devil. That's the devil because he can't. You know, if he can't hear our mind, only God can hear our mind, and we can talk to him.
Oh,
so if the devil can see that,
yeah,
holy shit,
that was an unlock right there.
Holy shit,
that was an unlock you just had right there.
Shit.
Enter the protector god. This one is simple. So the gatekeeper leaves us alone, and the benevolent dictator runs everything. But the protector god is in between. It intervenes with occasional nudges to help us out. Prevents a war here, a pandemic there, and so on. Maybe too alone. We still get wars, pandemics, suffering that could have been prevented. It does this so quietly that we never notice and never lose our sense of freedom. Here's the future that sounds like an obvious dystopia. AI surpasses us in every domain and becomes the new apex species. Humanity goes extinct. Machines inherit the earth. But we view the AI like our descendants rather than our conquerors. This sounds insane, and yet many AI developers seriously advocate for exactly this. This is their utopia. Their reasoning is that if we create conscious, intelligent beings and instill them with our values, then we can just let them inherit the future, just like we would with human children. AI pioneer Hans Moravec supports this view in his book, Mind Children.
They're supporting me. These dudes are weird, bro.
Parents with a child smarter than them, who learns from them and accomplishes what they can only dream of, are likely happy and proud, even if they know they can't live to see it all.
We gotta get these guys a little pussy, man.
These people gone, bro. These people are too far gone.
So what happens when you don't get no pussy, man?
You don't think they are? They paying for it for sure.
They up in that
but it's
lab.
not loving pussy. You know, it's different when you do something with a whore than when you actually love somebody, love you for you and you're getting it. It's different. I ain't never felt that before.
This is crazy.
What they can only dream of, are likely happy and proud, even if they know they can't live to see it all. In this spirit, AIs replace humans, but give us a graceful exit that makes us view them as our worthy descendants. Richard Sutton, winner of the Turing Award, the Nobel Prize of Computer Science, has spent the last decade openly giving talks on why human extinction by AI is actually a morally good thing. Because the AIs will be more evolutionarily fit than us.
We are in the midst of a major step in the evolution of the planet, if not the universe. The succession to AI is inevitable. Rather quickly, they would displace us from existence. It behooves us to give them every advantage and to bow out when we can no longer contribute.
Bow out.
And see, let me tell you something. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. These brothers right here, they're a little scared. They funny, they laughing, but they spooked too. Because this man keep talking about Jesus. He keep talking about when, and he keep talking about I think. I don't know, but we got to do something. So I'm just giving y'all adjustments on real people, giving you real time of what they really think about what's really being heard. They talking about a different world AI finna come into here and do. Now, iRobot. If you ever seen iRobot, all of the AI movies or robot movies show the robots taking over men at some point. And that's not a coincidence. Because I actually think that when Elon is talking, Elon is saying, hey, we're really going to be animals and we're really not going to be as smart as AI. So why would we lead the world and not just let AI lead the world because they're smarter than us? We should want them to lead the world because they're smarter. That's what he's saying. He's calling it Jesus-like powers, and he's calling it Jesus-like miracles. And I'm sorry, you just can't compare nobody to Jesus. I'm sorry. Just the fact he gave his life for you and me from people he didn't even know for the future. He gave his life for the future. Come on, man. You ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Ain't nobody doing that but him. So you can't even compare that to nothing, about none of that. Jesus ain't gotta create a device to put in your body just to get you to see. He can just walk up on you, just touch you, fam. Now you can see. Ha ha! What's that? Come on, fam. What we talking about? Somebody got to put the whole computer program together just to implant it. Then got to put it in your brain. Then you got to cut it on. Then you got to program it to your brain. But if you just pray to Jesus, he just come up and just touch you, fam, and then all of a sudden you just own. You good. Go kick it, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, boop. You good. Go live your life. Elon over here like, nah, we about to put all in. Let me put this together for you. Let me rock you up. Let me get you together. Let me get you. No, hand me the wrench. Hand me the socket. I'm about to put the new nuts on it. Hand me that DW40. Let me put some of that on it. Yeah, I need to put it. Yeah. Now give me that. Now give me a little zap right here. Now zap it right here. We ready. Neuralink. Voila. Okay, so you just take this, put it on your head, download it to your brain, and start thinking good. And that's a device. So that need to be charged. somebody over there talking to you. They're like, hold on, fam, because they talking to you. So yeah, what y'all finna do? See, we about to go to Applebee's. Because your brain then fell out of charge. Your battery didn't. Man, having a whole conversation. And then he just fall out. Because your battery dead in your brain. You got a Neuralink in your head and it's dead. What? You know how many people, fam, finna be on Neuralink brain? And they all, when it don't go too far, it's just your brain dead because the battery dead. You know Neuralink got a battery to it, fam. You got to plug your head up. You got to go plug your head up for Neuralink. Come on, fam. Jesus just come up, touch you, boom, your miracle, you're ready, you're live, go live your life. Boom. You don't need no charger, no battery, no backup pad, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you just go walk, look at this Neuralink head ass boy right here. You know what I'm saying? Neuralink head ass. Because I used to go be like, look at this Neuralink head ass. Because what he got in his head? Little button head. Like, what's going on with your little doorknob head? Because what you got to do, put the key in your head, unlock it, open it up, figure out what we do. We can charge. Your head is a charging station. Boy, don't let me get on you. Don't let me get on you, fam. You got the charging station head. You feel me? Come on, fam. Everybody just hook up to your brain and charge everybody's phone today. Come on, fam. That what you want? You want a charged up head. Oh, man, this is crazy. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. This is diabolical.
So just as we failed to coexist with our predecessors, is it so bad that humans are not the final form of intelligent life in the universe, In other words, he is saying it's good
if the AIs wipe us out, like humans wiped out the Neanderthals and Aboriginal peoples, because it's evolutionary progress. And here's another AI developer openly saying, if an AI superintelligence wants to cause human extinction, I would help it. I would help it. I would travel the world to find information that the AI needed, like locations of military assets, samples of dead.
If he talking like that, like if you want to end mankind, I'm gonna help him. That's somebody from Nephilim.
Pathogens atop humanity's grave, an even greater civilization will be born. Are we the baddies? So, of course, many of them advocate against AI safety. They're literally anti-human. They will never stop or proceed cautiously unless they're restrained by civil society, by us.
Elon, please!
As terrifying as this is, roughly 10% of AI researchers believe this. It is not a fringe view. You'd think that people would never share these views like this openly. But these views are so widespread in AI that they feel safe to do so. That's how different the views are of those AI developers compared to those of normal people. You might think that Sutton would get shouted off the stage at AI conferences, but he gets applause. Threaten one person, you need help. Threaten 100, call the police. Threaten millions, monster. But build machines to end all of humanity and lecture people on how it's actually a good thing? Ooh, what a fascinating philosophical position. Have an award. Next, libertarian utopia. Picture Earth divided into zones. There are machine zones, mixed zones, which contain humans, machines, and hybrids, and human-only zones. The AIs in this world are richer than humans by a factor much larger than Bill Gates compared to a homeless beggar. But the human economy is completely decoupled from the machine economy. The idea is that the machines need nothing from us, so they're not competing with us for jobs or resources. If all of that sounds impossible, that's probably because it is. It's one giant unstable equilibria. One huge problem. Why exactly would vastly more powerful AIs respect our property rights? Colonizers famously didn't respect the property of the native civilizations they conquered. When a new apex species enters an ecosystem, it usually gobbles up as much energy as it can. Why wouldn't they just take our resources too? We don't trade with animals because we're too much smarter than they are for that to make sense. We're just too different. There are 8 million species in the world, and we're nice to a few of the cute ones, but we enslave and eat the other species. Mostly, we don't care about them at all.
And I think a good analogy would be the way humans treat animals. When the time comes to build a highway between two cities, we are not asking the animals for permission.
In the blink of an eye, we conquered the Earth and converted most of its land into our property, which caused the 6th mass extinction, because we were smarter and hungry for resources. Or, as Eliezer Yudkowsky put it famously, the AI does not hate you, nor does it love you, but you're made of atoms which you can use for something else. The parallel here is the humans do not hate the other 8 million species, but their habitats are made out of atoms, which humans can use for something else. Some people think that once AIs are smart enough, they'll magically become super moral, and they won't harm us like we harmed the animals. And maybe, but as humans got smarter, over the last 10,000 years, we didn't stop expanding. We mostly just colonized more and more of the planet. Get this, insect populations collapsed 41% this decade alone. Yet we don't care. Did you even know? I didn't. 41%. Sit with that for a minute. Imagine if nearly half of the people on Earth suddenly died. That's what the insects are going through right now due to us. So what if the AIs do to us what we did to the insects? This is why OpenAI chief scientist Ilya Sutskever once said,
and I think it's pretty likely the entire surface of the Earth will be covered with solar panels and data centers.
Next up, egalitarian utopia. Okay, so libertarian utopia fails because AIs are too powerful to be bound by our property rights. But what if we flipped the script entirely? Forget about property rights.
What about no property at all?
I was going to say AI cannot run without humans, no matter what, because we are the only people that can help provide powers for it to even run.
Brother, it's gonna figure out how to do it itself.
But you're gonna need energy.
They can figure that out. It comes from the sun.
So you think they're just gonna place their own solar
Brother,
panels?
you think you're smarter than Elon and all these brothers out there?
Yeah, but they have to
Them
use.
nigga ass ain't smarter than them.
But you know,
They know. We don't. We don't know shit.
But you know how much water and energy they have to use just to, run AI right now?
Yeah, Ty, get on the stage with all get on the stage with them and tell them that shit. Y'all, what about the water and the sun? They telling us, brother, we use it right now. We actually
But you know how many resources we use for it to operate right now?
What? AI?
Yes, you use
a ton of why can't they figure out them same resources? That is the whole thing. That's what they're saying. Just like a monkey can figure out how to eat a banana, we figured out how to eat a banana. Then we kept figuring things out because we were smarter than them. They are smarter than us. AI is smarter than you, me, and Brock. It's smarter than everybody.
You know who is not smarter than?
God. That's what I say. That's the only person that can stop this shit.
That is. As long as y'all know, man.
Last up, guys.
This is the Star Trek dream. Humans, cyborgs, and AIs coexist peacefully through an abundance so complete that ownership becomes meaningless. The logic starts with software. Software is free to copy. Once something can be copied infinitely at zero cost, ownership becomes moot. And cost reflects scarcity. If supply is unlimited, price approaches zero. No patents, no copyrights, no trademarks. People simply share their good ideas and everyone benefits. But how does this extend to physical goods? It seems like an impossible problem until you realize that all products are simply atoms, rearranged in particular ways. And there's no shortage of atoms. A network of robots can build anything you want from open source designs, essentially for free. Not bad. When you're done with something, robots rearrange the atoms into something else. Renewable energy makes the whole system run at negligible cost. Everyone gets a monthly universal high income, not a universal basic income. There's no incentive to earn more. The income meets any reasonable need, and you can't compete with free anyway. The standard objection is that this would kill innovation. But Einstein didn't come up with relativity for money. Linus Torvalds didn't create Linux for profits. Maybe people today can't realize their creative potential because they're busy earning a living. Free them from that, and you might get a higher level of innovation. This is a utopian vision that is too good to last. If we truly have post-scarcity abundance and intelligence too cheap to meter, what prevents someone from creating an artificial superintelligence with their endlessly abundant resources? We're still left with the problem of how to stop a superintelligent AI from taking over. Maybe by using the gatekeeper we previously discussed. These galaxy-brained level 3 futures try to imagine a stable cooperation between humans and AIs, and every single one of them has a fatal flaw. The power asymmetries will become too extreme. It's not a stable equilibrium where humans preserve their power. We're now descending into the darkest part of the iceberg. Remember when I said extinction wasn't rated as the worst outcome of their power? We're now descending into the darkest part of the iceberg. Remember when I said extinction wasn't rated as the worst outcome when Professor Techmark surveyed people? The scenario people feared most was being kept alive by superintelligent machines, captive and studied like animals in a zoo. This is that future. A superintelligent AI keeps humans around, not because it cares about our well-being. Maybe it wants to study you, and we're cheap to keep alive. Or maybe we're useful for something. And if you want to see just how dystopian this future could be, look at what we do with species that are useful to us. What I'm showing you here is 100% real. Humans figured out that a great way to detect explosives in airports was to train honeybees for the job. Welcome to the Honeybee College for Explosive Detection. So we suck them out of their homes, trap their little bodies in machines, and use Pavlovian conditioning to train them to detect the chemicals
that are used in explosives. Rows and rows of bees live their entire lives imprisoned in these devices because we...
I just want to say this Adam and Eve fault. It is, though. You really think about it.
Yeah, everything is their fault.
Yeah, it is. It is. Because it's like we don't know if God... I mean, he knew what's going to happen, period. But, like, the fact that... What if he didn't want any of this to happen?
Yeah, but it's a hard concept to think.
He didn't want any of this to happen. We were supposed to be out.
It's our sinful nature
with the bees and animals just chilling, you know.
Nah, but he said you have dominion over the animals. So this dude kind of sits there and acts like, oh, y'all have the bees and take them from their homes as if they're humans. You know, they're not humans. They don't have spirits. That's the difference between animals and humans. Humans have spirits and animals do not. So
some water animals, some animals in the ocean.
They're smart. They have hearts, but they don't have a spirit.
Dolphins.
They don't have a spirit. Like I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think, guys.
Yeah, say some Jamal shit.
I'm just saying though. They do what they are. Like some animals are nicer than others.
Yeah. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member today. Don't forget what's going on. You in here with your boy Dealatofficial. Shout out to Theo with the $5.99 for the $5 donation in the super chat. In that like, that's love, that's real. I appreciate you, family. Let me tell you something that's real, even more real. The fact that they real make sure that you're gonna have to sign up and register for Neuralink. I bet you ain't know that either, did you? You got to sign up and register for that. You don't have to take it, but you're gonna have to sign up and register. The registry about it is for them to create a profile of you all. And that profile is going to allow them, wait for it, clone your ass. Bet you ain't know that, did you? Okay, so we learning something that you didn't know. There's going to be a registry for you and Neuralink, fam. And they're going to make sure they get it popping just for them to know that if you ain't who you is and you trying to cooperate, they can easily just clone you, dog. Because the thing that they're using in the brain to clone people is not the same exact, but there are certain elements or one element that they use and take away from the regular person and installs in the clone to give them that same personality, same profile description, same attitude that can distinguish you from another. Now, the only difference is they still haven't figured out how to mood swing, because the moods of a clone is not the same of us. If you look at the moods of Selena Gomez, they start talking about some other people, all you see is that they're calm now. And even when they shown the different NBA young boy, he has a scar on his head from a shooting. The clone that they brought out of NBA young boy, they forgot to put that bullet in his head or that dent in that scar, because it's actually a dent. It's like 2 dents in his forehead. Not scars, dents. That man got out and did the MAGA tour. And if you go back and look at them pictures, his forehead is untouchable. Clean like a baby's bottom. He got the veneers in his teeth, fresh teeth, clean, fresh face. No dents, no work from nothing that he's been through already. So that's the little stuff I'm talking about that they not paying attention to, but they so smart. And no offense against white people, but it's like, that's what I be talking about, fam. Y'all so smart, you're stupid. You're not even paying attention to the parts that you need to pay attention to. So now we know that all clones are not acting the same. Something about them seem like they stressed out. Or something about them, they have no personality. You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that they have no personality, that lets you further know that if that's how they want to do you, because think about voting. Voting is going to matter even more, because now there's going to be like 2 of you, but if you don't want to vote for who they want you to, they can just shut you down and get the other you to do what they want to do. That is the exact situation going on in the industry. People moved out the way, but they're still there because they ain't who that is. And the fact that that person the crowd, the people, the demographic fell in love with this person. They can't let all of that money go down the drain. That's too much money. Michael Jackson, too much money. Too much money. Prince, too much money. We go down the list. Just too much money. So you got to give these people that same person, but in a different image. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. It's the reason why we're here to save your life. Understand what's going on. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
So they have to sometimes.
But they're different than
families.
It's something like humans and animals are different, deeper than just being smarter, is what I'm trying to say.
Your lives imprisoned in these devices because we find them useful. Look at them. Trapped in harnesses, sucked through tubes, conditioned and monitored and used because a more intelligent species found them useful. Now imagine that's us. This is much worse than the other AI dictators we discussed. It's a benevolent dictator without the benevolence. And the AI might not even be doing this because it's evil. This is what our future could look like if we try to align a superintelligent AI to our values and fail. A poorly designed AI, tasked with keeping humans safe and happy, might confine us to a happiness factory. VR headsets and drugs. Forever. There are AGI outcomes worse than death. What it does today with art, it could do tomorrow with flesh. Future AGI could keep you alive and living in this state. So how do we prevent this? Enter our last two futures. Option 1, destroy the technology. What if humanity said, forget AI, let's go back to simpler times. It sounds peaceful, it sounds safe, but there's actually a dark secret about how we actually get there. In Dune, humans launched the Butlerian Jihad. They rose up, destroyed every AI in the universe, and made it illegal to ever build thinking machines again under penalty of death. That was science fiction, but some people are seriously calling for this in the real world right now. Max Tegmark imagines a scenario where a massive propaganda campaign romanticizes the simple farming life. Back to the land, reject modernity, embrace tradition. There's something appealing about this in a dark way. It buys humanity more time without AI risk. It avoids any of the other dystopian futures we've discussed. But it can't last forever. Even if we revert to medieval levels of technology, we know from...
He's talking about if we go back to the old days. He's saying what it do, reverse us from going to AI, and it just gets us back to restarting over. So he said if we restart over, that's good. But the problem is that we know too much to start over. Because if we go backwards, now we're not talking about flat screen TVs, we talking about TVs, we talking about black and white, we talking about so many things that we have to do, but we are so advanced that we won't even be settled within ourselves to patiently grow food. Patiently learn the remedies of medical. It was remedies. They had to use remedies to fix your body, not no Tylenol. I mean, think about it, fam. We wouldn't have the patience to be able to survive natural resources because we're so advanced. This is why the world would never be able to restart over.
Human history, that it's possible for humans to climb out of those conditions and invent modern technology. And there's another dark side to this. You can't reach this world voluntarily. Game theory makes unilateral disarmament impossible. If one country gives up technology, well, others keep developing it. The country that keeps developing wins. They have the weapons, they have the surveillance, they have the AI. You can't opt out unless everyone opts out. If this world arrives, Tegmark thinks it's more likely to happen in a different way. For example, a human-created pandemic kills everyone who knows how to build science and technology. And there's a violent teardown of factories, cities, and all infrastructure. Because in a world with 8 billion humans, there will always be holdouts. Someone has to force the transition. Someone has to kill the scientists. Someone has to destroy the infrastructure. There's no peaceful path to an Amish world. Which brings us to the final future. What if we used technology to prevent more technology? Techmark compares this future to 1984. Superintelligence is prevented not by an AI, but a human-led Orwellian global surveillance state. If you can't trust AI to save us from AI, maybe the only option is humans watching humans forever. The technology for this sort of thing already exists. Current tech can feasibly track every phone call, email, search query, and every credit card transaction. Smartphones are microphones and cameras in everyone's pockets. Security cameras with facial recognition are everywhere. And all of this works with current machine learning. No futuristic superintelligent AI required. Prisons are...
Think about it. They could be doing this right now, because how does YouTube really put this together?
For sure.
Yeah, he just put it together. Somebody smarter than him to say, okay, yeah, let's just go and get to the bottom of it. Let's put these phones in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, though, man.
Now, that's real. That's the first chip.
Already using AI models to monitor phone calls in prison to predict when crimes are being contemplated, which is technology straight out of Minority Report. Imagine this, but not just for prisoners. Every conversation and every thought is monitored like this. Now imagine this surveillance technology.
Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Have you ever seen Minority Report? Press 1 if you have. Let me write that down right now. That movie right there. That movie right there. Minority Report. Write it down. Add that to your list. Minority Report. That's what Tom Cruise. Minority Report. Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Okay. Minority Report. Very serious movie. And it's funny because think about the day that came out. If you think about when Minority Report came out, they'll let you further know that somebody was thinking about this in the future. Minority Report was about police locking people up for them contemplating or seeing in the future. Hear me again when I say what I say. They literally was locking people up because they were saying you were going to commit a crime in the future. And that they could see what that crime would be in the future. So that's like them just pulling up like, hey, in 2 years, fam, you gonna run somebody over and keep going. And you like, what? How you gonna lock me up for something I ain't even did yet? That's what's gonna be the problem. You understand what I'm saying? Have you ever seen Minority Report? Write it down. That's gonna be so important. That's Tom Cruise. That's a fresh movie, might be a free movie at this point. But Minority Report was about locking you up for future stuff you was gonna do in the future. It was about locking you up for stuff you were doing in the future. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're looking at what we're talking about, Minority Report need to be seen immediately, because if they get to doing this, everybody getting locked up. Or you better pray that your future ain't gonna turn out with you doing something. They literally was locking you up because they said in 2 years you gonna hit somebody and keep going. And you like, I ain't hit nobody. I ain't even got no car. How am I hit somebody? I'm a good person. I ain't did nothing. But you don't even know what happened for you to hit that person. So they're going to lock you up now and give you years for something you ain't even committed yet. This is how far AI wants to get so advanced that he can tell you what you're going to do before you do it. What? That's where we headed, fam. We headed to AI telling you about you because he's smarter than you. And that's how he's going to be looked at. Smarter than you, so that means you're nothing. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. It's getting crazy.
Supercharged with AI. Billionaire Larry Ellison talks excitedly about a vast AI-fueled surveillance system to ensure citizens will be on their best behavior. Or, as Yuval Harari put it,
now, for the first time in history, it is technically possible to annihilate privacy.
If you think about authoritarian regimes, throughout history, they always wanted to monitor their citizens around the clock. But this was technically impossible. Even in the Soviet Union, you have 200 million Soviet citizens. You can't follow them all the time because the KGB didn't have 200 million. We somehow got 200 million agents. That's not enough. Because, in the Soviet Union, it's still basically paper bureaucracy. If a secret agent followed you around 24 hours a day, at the end of the day, they write a paper report about you and send it to KGB headquarters in Moscow. So imagine, every day, KGB headquarters is flooded with 200 million paper reports. Right. Now, to be useful for anything, somebody needs to read and analyze them. They can't do it. They don't have the analysts. Therefore, even in the Soviet Union, some level of privacy was still the default.
And remember, you have 2 eyes and ears. AIs will have billions of eyes and ears. Every phone, microphone, and camera, every webcam, every surveillance camera.
Don't say that word on here, bro. You just don't want to say that word on here.
We've been saying it a million times on here.
On here?
Yes, you ain't been in, but we've been saying Goyim on here.
Don't say that, bro. Don't say that.
We've been saying it.
Don't say that.
AIs will have billions of eyes and ears. Every phone, microphone, and camera, every webcam, every surveillance camera. You will be watched.
This is bad.
Could a less Orwellian version of this work? Maybe we don't monitor everything, but just monitor advanced AI? Some people think so. In their new book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, Why Superhuman AI Would Kill Us All, researchers at the Machine Intelligence Research Institute are proposing that we monitor advanced AI like we monitor nuclear weapons. Reminder, we can do international coordination, like keep an eye on $100 million and up compute clusters, without creating a dystopian Orwellian global surveillance totalitarian regime. Actually, fun fact, you're already living in a global surveillance regime for loads of things, like nukes and bioweapons. But when people say global surveillance regime, they imply every aspect of life is surveilled. Not keep an eye on enriched uranium, a thing most people agree is good. We should worry about Orwellian dystopias, but countries coordinate all the time on all kinds of things. And you're probably glad they monitor stuff lunatics need to create super Ebola. Safety is an achievement. Humanity didn't get here by driving a car without brakes. We need gas and brakes. We want to reach the stars too, but we'll never get there if we go too fast and crash on the way. I don't want powerful AI to be forbidden, but it should be heavily regulated, not something you can build in your Midwestern garage or in North Korea. International treaties with strict enforcement and inspections, as we do with nukes. So if you build a rogue data center, people will know. Consequences for violations. We already did this with nuclear weapons. We haven't eliminated nukes, but we have prevented their proliferation to just 9 countries. Back then, people thought this would be impossible. Surely every country would have nukes, perhaps even thousands of corporations, maybe even millions of people. But no, just 9 countries. And nobody has died from a nuke in 80 years. Could we do the same with AI? Maybe, maybe not. Over time, AI will get cheaper and cheaper to build. GPUs are harder to control than enriched uranium, but it would slow down AI. It would buy us time to figure out what to do. Okay, that's all 12. Let me know in the comments which of these you think.
Holy shit, guys.
Yeah, y'all better get right with God.
Man, did you see how fast that freaking robot got up? Man, John Jones ain't got shit for that, bro. We're gonna be cooked.
We gotta wait for the Terminator to come save us.
Hey, but I love that idea. Have every country just we monitor each other's AI. Hey, brother, don't go too far with that AI shit, because that shit worse than the nuke.
Will do, brother. Shout out to them for looking at that video, trying to bring light to darkness. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, fam. It's a reason to become a member. We're trying to learn you something. We're trying to save your life. We're trying to make sure you're here forever, eternally with the Savior. Because I'm going to be real with you, fam. If you don't stand for nothing, you're going to fall for anything. You're going to be left behind where everybody else up there eating. You feel what I'm saying? We got to make sure we understand what's going on, because if we don't, we're going to be lost about it, man. Mama K in the building, bringing it in and bringing it out. I'm gonna play this other video because I know a lot of people kind of came in late, but I believe this video here is very important because this really broke down a lot.
I want to show you guys a video of Elon Musk speaking about his Neuralink chip and how this chip is going to be able to provide Jesus-like miracles for individuals that get this in their brain, okay? And not only that, he gets asked about the humanoid robots, and he speaks about how life is going to be once robots completely take over the job force, okay? I want to show you those clips because it brings an interesting question that I've seen across the internet is how are people going to earn money, okay? And this is a question that we have to talk about today. All right, let's hop in these videos, watch them and react to them. Before we do me a quick favor. Hit that like button for the algorithm so that this video can reach more people like yourself. I truly appreciate you guys. Let's hop in.
What kind of brain-machine interface that can give you cybernetic superpowers, I think is probably good. It could, help people that have brain or spine injuries, enable people who never spoken for years to speak again, which we've done. Give people eyesight who have lost both eyes or the optic nerve, or maybe have never even seen at all, blind from birth. By direct interface to the optical centers in the brain, you can actually restore eyesight or give people eyesight that they've never had before. And you can enable people to walk again, which I think is profound. I mean, these are kind of Jesus level things, let's say like when technologies are getting like Jesus level miracles, that's pretty good.
Yeah. How do you, again, it's asked a lot, but it's fun to ask it to you. How do you prioritize? I mean, because you're right, you've got multiple deities here. If these are Jesus level solutions, which one do you serve?
All right, I'm gonna show you guys this video of someone who already received the Neuralink chip inside of his brain and how he's able to interact with things after this chip. I just want to say this real quick though, that although he's saying, he's boasting of Jesus level miracles, Jesus never had to put anything inside of anyone to get them to see or to restore whatever the case may be, whether it was someone who was lame and couldn't walk, someone who couldn't hear, someone who couldn't see, someone who was bleeding for 18 years. All Jesus had to do was give a command. And so as much as we can try to imitate Jesus level miracles, there's never going to be anyone that can perform what Jesus has done. Just want to say that real quick. And Jesus is still doing these miracles. Jesus' miracles are still being done through the hands of the children of God. Okay, but let me show you this guy who already received the Neuralink chip. Let's check it out.
So what can you show us that as a demonstration of what you can now do?
Here we go. This is the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a minute. You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh man! So yeah, you're not even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope, I can move it and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words.
He has got a Neuralink hooked up to his brain, and he can move the mouse pad without looking at the mouse pad. So he could just think. He can think about the object and then think about the location. You understand what that is? That is definitely demonic, fam. That ain't normal. Let's go.
Describe it. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
Okay, so in this individual, he said he was reading a devotional, so he happens to be a believer. This is definitely a situation that is unique for someone who believes in God, and I'm not, I don't have the same problems as him, so I'm not going to try to look at him in a sense of he should never get this. Me personally, I wouldn't have done it, but simply because there's a chance that something can go wrong, right? If it's a chip inside of you, this chip is being controlled, or this chip was created by somebody else and this chip is able to interact with your, like the actual electric, things happening in your brain. then to me, it just seems sketchy. But I pray that everything works out for him with this chip. A lot of people would want to get this chip. Look in the comment section of these videos. A lot of people would want to get a chip for whatever reason, right? We see people getting chips implanted in their arms so that they can pay for things now. This is a real thing. Like, these things are actually happening. Chips are becoming more common to make life easier. Now, that is definitely something to keep caution, because we don't want to just be putting in regular, like, we don't want to be putting anything in our arms. All right, let's go back to Elon Musk. He's talking about what the world is going to look like for the public and people, families, once these robots are going to, like, officially take over the job market, which is projected in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, or it's going to be more an influx of robots in the next 5 to 10 years.
That no one's going to need to worry about money or work, because AI is going to take care of the rest, AI and robotics. What do you mean that people won't have to work in the future?
Assuming the current trend of artificial intelligence and robotics continues, which seems likely, the AI and robots will be able to do anything that humans want them to do, essentially. So hopefully not more than that, but AI and robotics will be able to provide all the goods and services that anyone could possibly want.
So, but you wouldn't need to work. Like, what would you do with your free time?
People will be able to do whatever they want with their free time. Work will be optional. I just want to separate out from, like, what I wish would happen versus what I predict will happen, because people get confused about that. They think that what I predict will happen is what I want it to happen. Yeah. What I predict to happen is not the same as what I want to happen. If I could, I would certainly slow down AI and robotics, but I can't.
Here's a clip of him doubling down on his words on the optional work in front of some Saudi Arabia leaders at an investment forum. Okay, let's go ahead and check this one out.
For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional. Optional. So
we'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That would be what work is like, optional. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
So he said that everyone's going to be wealthy, and that AI and robotics will eliminate poverty, and that work will be optional. And all of these things will make you think, okay, well, how are people going to earn money, right? If money's going to be irrelevant, like, how do you pay for goods and services is the question, right? And this is a question that a lot of people have. I've seen it scrolling through different TikTok videos related to this topic. Many people are wondering, how are you going to actually earn an income? And the most likely scenario is that you won't earn an income, right? Because earning an income would take you doing work. If work is optional and work is being provided by robots that you don't own, right? Robots that are owned by big tech companies, then it seems like there would be some kind of, similar to universal healthcare, universal salaries, universal pay. That just seems like the most likely scenario. Okay, I want to show you a couple of minutes of this video by an individual named Andre Jik. And he's speaking of the current situation of digital ID digital money, and also with the loss of jobs, and how all of this is correlating to prophecy about not being able to buy and sell unless you receive a mark. Okay. I don't know if he's a Christian or not, but he's correlating this to the word of God. And a lot of people in his comment section also agree that this is where things seem to head. Okay. And I just want to say this is not fear mongering. We know these things are going to happen. But what we're seeing today with the economy, digital IDs, digital money, and also these robots coming in and almost certainly taking a large percentage of jobs, it does seem to align. And that's just the truth. Okay, but let's check out some of this clip and see what he's saying. Let's hop in.
So some people believe that everything that's happening in the world right now was actually predicted thousands of years ago. There's a passage in the Bible written almost 2,000 years ago, Revelation 13, verse 17. It says, "A mark will be required, placed on your right hand or your forehead, and without that mark, you cannot buy and you cannot sell." This is called the mark of the beast. And for most of human history, people assumed that this was just a metaphor from the Bible, kind of symbolic message that ancient texts used to describe power and controls in ways that people could visualize at that time, because obviously nobody could imagine the technology that would make this possible today. But if you're paying attention to the world and everything that's going on today, it almost seems like everything we're watching is part of some manufactured crisis, a transition in human history with a new opportunity to centralize power.
We are now moving from the industrial age to the intelligent age. We are living in the transition to a new time, which will change everything. It will change how we communicate, how we work, how we live. But now in this new age, the base will be knowledge, data, and intelligent insights.
In the modern world, people call this prophecy the digital control grid. And I know how it sounds conspiratorial, but I want to show you some things that are actually happening right now. In 2025, a company co-founded by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, started deploying a device called the Orb. It's a silver sphere about the size of a bowling ball, and what it does is it scans the iris of your eye to get what's called your biometric signature. It's the one thing about your body that's completely unique to you and can never be changed. Now, in exchange for that scan, you will get something called a World ID, which is a digital proof that you are a real human being. As of right now, over 18 million people have already done this voluntarily. Why would they do that? It's because in a world of AI and robots, how do you prove you're actually a real person? This is how. The World ID is now being integrated into apps like Tinder, DocuSign, Zoom, Shopify, and dozens of other platforms. Sam Altman has said that proof of human will eventually be required by every website, every app, every transaction on the internet.
People are really going to need this and really going to need to do this in a privacy-preserving way. So World ID is our effort at that. And our goal is to make World ID be this new proof of human for the internet.
At the same time, the United States passed something called the Genius Act, which is a law that creates the legal framework for stablecoins, aka digital dollars. And what makes a stablecoin different from the cash in your bank account is that it can be programmed. It can be given rules about where it can be spent, on what and when it expires, and whether it works outside a certain area. The World Economic Forum is also now arguing that water, soil, and even the air we breathe needs to be assigned a financial value. It needs to have a price, and it needs to be measured.
Now we need to put the economics of water, not only in terms of monetary values, but also in terms of governance, in terms of recognizing water as a commons that we now need to manage as a broad systems approach.
If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business, to allocate a value to it and to bring it into accounting and financial mechanisms.
Basically means the air and water should not be freely accessible. They should be a financial asset.
Wow.
And while all of this is happening, there's been a huge build out of cameras, satellites, cell towers, and AI data centers in communities all across the world. Now, some of this framework was brought to light by Catherine Austin Fitts, who used to be the Assistant Secretary of Housing under President Bush. And she talks about a specific plan of how this is going to look like. She says that there's 3 parts that are being built that have never existed before in human history.
So there are 3 sort of pillars that I track. One is the programmable money, and that's what we at ZELLE are trying to stop. The second is the digital ID, because you need digital ID systems that are interoperable globally, and then the local hardware. And those are sort of the 3 pillars.
Programmable money, the global digital identity system, and the surveillance hardware to enforce both of those systems. And she says that when all 3 are complete, the people who control that system, aka the central planners, those people will not need laws to influence society. They're not going to need the police or the courts. If they want you to do something, and for some reason you're not doing it, they'll just turn off some important aspect of our lives. Whether it's the money we use, the IDs we need, or they could just restrict our ability to buy and sell or travel somewhere unless we comply.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Now, that's King Arthur, pretty much, them over there, Queen Elizabeth's brother. Now, as you know, allegedly, he's supposed to be a reptilian. Now, as he sits there in front of his people and congregation, he's talking to other powerful people about the curriculum moving forward of our futures. So he's saying also with the AI abundance is what we would have the curriculum to be in control. That's exactly what he just said. So let's listen to it again. One more again. Just once again. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, yes.
Turn off some important aspect of our lives, whether it's the money we use, the IDs we need, or they could just restrict our ability to buy and sell or travel somewhere unless we comply.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
That's why some people believe that this was a prophecy that came from the Bible.
With the introduction with digital ID for the House of Control and Senate. So what we know now is what we're doing. I'm tripping. You got me talking like that regular. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on now, fam? And what we got going is we got to deal with that. They over there talking about controlling our life. And then we got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying, Theo? We got to worry about that now. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted y'all to see this video because it was very important that you see this video. Time, Mama K, Theo, you know what I mean? Like, fam, I know the time, I know everything coming in. It's just I wanted y'all to see it because I knew it was more important. Because they're telling you what is headed and what is to come. Let's keep going.
Okay, so I think we heard enough. These are the things that are happening, okay? We just seen King Charles, I believe, and how he is making this digital ID mandatory to be able to use public services or government services.
Wow.
And so I showed a video not too long ago about the world government system being set into place. There's a lot of things happening behind doors. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
They ain't gonna lie, if I become a spy, it'd be like that, because I'd be the garbage truck dude that's over there. First of all, I'd be the food escort dude. Then I turn into the waiter, and then I come back over there, then I dress up like, yeah, how are you? Oh, you coming in? Yes. How are you? Yes. What do you need? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Hey, lady. How are you? Yes. Hey, yes. Hey, yes. Hey, Simba. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's all you gotta do. You gotta have too much conversation. Like, dude, I'm good. I'm well. And you? How are you? And you? So that's all you gotta do, fam. If you're gonna infiltrate, just put a little on it. Just a little on it, not too much. Because if you start talking like, yeah, and I would like to go with you, and then I see we would like to do something more than what we. You get to doing that, they're gonna be like, somebody ain't right with this nigga. Somebody ain't right with him. He putting too much on it. He putting too much on it. Now we finna have to 007 them and tie them up, send them over there, feed them to the sharks. So I'm saying? So we can't go down that road, fam. But we got to inform, understand, and be aware. Because this right here, this diabolical. I'll give you a little laugh at the end, but I'm telling you something, this real. This ain't no joke. This Neuralink. Yeah. This Neuralink, this the mark, this the beast, this is the beginning. This is happening. And what did he say? About 80,000 people already got Neuralink in their head. 80,000 already plugged up. I just told you that AI got a religion. It's called Mote Book. Trip that off. So they talking to themselves and they creating their own religion and they got their own services. And humans cannot spot. Humans can only view. They can't comment. You can't do nothing but sign up and view what the AI is talking to other AIs about. That's all you can do. You can't do shit. You can't comment on it. You can't get in there. You can't cuss nobody out. You can't talk bad to their mamas. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So hit that like button, double tap that screen. Understand you already know when you in here with your fam and all that good stuff. Cause we ain't stopping and we ain't good, but we only gonna do it one way and one do it only. Right here with your boy Dealatofficial, as always. Cause listen, some of y'all came in when you came in, and I ain't knocking. Cause I'd have been late myself. Life be life and life be going, but at the same time, we still here. I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all still pulling up because that lets me know further you have a conscience and you care about what happens today for our kids tomorrow. And because of that, hit that like button, double tap that screen. As always, family, I truly appreciate you and your family members and your time because I know your time is valuable and everything you do matters for you and your household to make sure that y'all survive tomorrow. Truly, I appreciate each and every one of y'all taking time to just be here, be present, which is truly a gift and it's truly a blessing to pull up. Truly forget, family, never forget. As always, when you come in, truly get you something to eat, something to drink, and something to smoke. If that's what you do, fam, because there's only one way to do it, and there's only one title that say it. That's right here with your boy Dealatofficial, my fam. You see it, and you see it only. Right here we in No Filters, fam. Good night, family. Y'all be safe. Truly have an amazing weekend. And God bless, man.